All right, welcome everybody. We're into our last week of Shrink a Size Challenge. This is so exciting. You guys, you know, many of you have just completed the Jumpstart program, which is excellent. And you're happy with your results. You're excited about what's going on. And now it's time to transition into maybe rapid results or sure and steady. Take the weight loss profile on the TLS website to find out what the best next program is for you. It's also very important to have decided which products you're going to keep on going with, which ones you might be adding, and placing your order so you don't run out. You don't want to have that in between time, especially when you've made so much progress. So that is, this is that time when you're making that transition. And be sure to talk to your TLS coach or ask any questions you need to in the TLS Shrink a Size page so that we can support you in your next steps. So excited as we head into week 5 for you guys to really stay the course. This is, you've been through the strictest part of the TLS program. As far as nutrition goes, most of you were on Fat Shredder Rapid Results or the Jumpstart program. And those and detox, those are our strictest programs. And now it's about transitioning into more of our lifestyle programs, ones where you can live on these programs and be content and happy and energetic and vital and just keep getting better and better and better as you age, which is exciting. So that is really the goal, that this is the beginning, not the end, right? Okay, so let me, without further ado, share my screen so I and stop babbling. All right, you guys. As most of you know, I'm the director of TLS. I've been in the health industry since the year 2000. And, what we're talking about here tonight has not been evaluated by the FDA. And, all of that fun stuff, all of our disclaimers. I just wanted to share with you a couple recent testimonials, one being Dory, who's lost 35 pounds with TLS, as you can see, but has gained so much more. Look at this girl. I mean, this woman has really become just a fitness fanatic. She loves going to the gym now. She loves getting stronger. It's just really amazing how someone who never, maybe thought that that was their lifestyle. And when you feel like $1,000,000, right? And Heather has lost 45 pounds with our program. She is a nurse and had a lot of illnesses even in high school and in school. So it just something she was really looking to really take care of herself in a much higher level way, and found TLS, was introduced through a friend, and just loving that lifestyle. So we're happy for Heather. You guys, most of you would have downloaded our free 12-week digital health guide and journal, which has 12 chapters. So this is a perfect way to continue on with your TLS lifestyle, 12-week journal. So there's tracking sheets in it. There's a chapter each week. We're really looking at having you continue and maintain your TLS lifestyle for longer than these 5 weeks so that you can hit either your ultimate goal or you can just continue feeling amazing because maybe you're already at your goal. Chapter 9 is actually about overcoming obstacles, which is our topic tonight. We're so excited about that topic because things come up, week 5. I bet you guys had challenges all through this Shrink a Size challenge. And truly, you probably ate those challenges for breakfast, but there may have been some that got you stuck. So tonight is all about what do we do about those common obstacles? And this is a great chapter to read as well. So definitely crack it open. So let's talk about some of the most common obstacles, some of those potential solutions to them. So I think the number one thing I hear from at least my clients And in a lot of sharing is, oh, this happened and that happened, and I wasn't prepared. So, because, that wasn't planned. And so life, drama, and unplanned events, and that can kind of cause us to go off track. And then that becomes a slippery slope, doesn't it? So what saves us here? What saves us is having a meal planning habit and preparation in place. I find that when life happens, which it did to me, as you guys know, Hurricane Ian hit directly where I live, and it created quite just an amazing amount of destruction. And we had no power and no water for 12 days. And so we were running a few generators here and there, just like, rotating through them so that they wouldn't get run down. 12 days is a long time to be without power. And I found that obviously a propane grill is great because it doesn't require power or water. So grilling vegetables and protein made healthy choices. Also plugging in a crock pot to a generator. I have a crock pot. I haven't pulled out that crock pot in 17 years or 7 years, you guys. When I moved to Florida, I haven't touched the crock pot since I moved to Florida, but that sucker does not take a whole lot of power from a generator. And so I made so many lunches and dinners in the crock pot, from turkey, mushroom stew or chili to beef chili to, I even made scrambled eggs in it. I mean, I wouldn't suggest it, but you can do it. So what helped was obviously just having done my groceries prior to the hurricane hitting. And I know that most people, when they go to grocery shop hurricane, they do a lot of non-perishables. They do a lot of junk food. They do a lot of crap food. And, so everything that I wanted to buy was still in stock, which was wonderful. And so I know that there is still there's always an opportunity for a solution. And this is where meal planning and prep, but also our TLS shakes come in handy, because all I needed was a shaker bottle and some water, which we had stocked up on. And so TLS shakes to save the day. You guys, that was a savior, having that as, breakfast or lunch. It really, really helps. So always having those on hand and ready to go. So now some of you are going, but I don't like meal prep and I don't like planning, right? That's been my challenge. So one of the things that helps to create that habit is to make it an appointment in your calendar. And you don't have to do that forever and ever, amen, but you definitely need to do it to maintain the habit until it becomes a habit. A lot of people do batch cooking 2 times a week. So it's, Sundays and Wednesdays. And then that way I do batch cooking with protein, but I don't do with my vegetables because I love having my vegetables fresh. But I do make sure that I always have plenty of fresh vegetables on hand. It's also really important to schedule your grocery day always on the same day, same time. So it's literally just part of your routine. This is when you go. This is, that way you're never running out of your proteins and your vegetables and your fruits and all the good stuff you're allowed to have that support your body's health during TLS. And so those are ways to make sure that you fit it in. But the other thing that can be really fun to do is have a buddy, and do it together, right? Involve your kids, involve a spouse, make it a thing, right? What spices are we going to do on all the different chickens we're going to be cooking up here tonight? Try to have some fun with it. And if you try to have some fun with it, you probably won't dread it so much. All right. Now, when you're traveling can also be, I know I've seen some posts on the Shrink a Size page, right? Oh, I went somewhere, or we had an event. And traveling is often, I think I misspelled that, getting hotel rooms with kitchenettes or fridges. It's very crucial to me staying on track when I am traveling. And so often people like to pre-plan their restaurants as well, especially if you're on some of our more restrictive plans. It's really good to go online and take a look at menus before you decide where you're going to go. And anytime I'm traveling, especially if I'm road tripping, I am going to pack a cooler of TLS friendly foods. I'm going to put my protein shakes. I'm going to do some boiled eggs. I'm going to do some vegetables and hummus. I'm going to do some fruits. I'm going to do some raw nuts that are washed. Did you guys see that tip on the Shrink a Size page? Washed nuts. All right. We want to do that. So here we have the other thing I love to do when I travel, and I just actually had to do a really impromptu, or not impromptu, but quick trip to Toronto, was in my purse is my trim tea, my trim cafe, my shake, you know, the powder and a little baggie for my shake. I always travel with something on hand because you just never know what's going to happen. There's nothing healthy at the airport terminal or gate that you happen to be at, or you get delayed and you're on the tarmac for 2 hours and you get off and you're starving, you know, and if you have your TLS shake with you, guess what happens? You're fine. Right? So there's lots of ways, but as long as you're prepared with your TLS snacks and healthy foods, you're going to do just fantastic. All right. Eating out can be a challenge. Again, pre-planning by taking a look at that menu. Make sure you take your trim tea or your trim cafe or your core prior to going. Or if you tend to overeat at restaurants, have the shake before you go. That way you're feeling full and satiated and you don't want one of everything on the menu. I actually, when I landed in Toronto, we ended up in a traffic jam because of a very bad accident. And it had recently happened and we didn't know it had happened. I got picked up from the airport and we're heading down, and all of a sudden we come to a screeching halt, and our exit is the next exit. There is no other exit. It's 6 kilometers down the freeway in Toronto. There's nowhere to go. We can't back up. We can't exit. We're just stuck. 4 hours in the car, 4 hours to go 6 kilometers. You guys, I'm so grateful, you know, and my products, I had, you know, I always have stuff with me. Anyway, we're headed to the restaurant for dinner and we didn't end up eating until quite late. So thank goodness for core. So it was quite late by the time we got to the restaurant, and, you know, we kind of felt like celebrating because that was 4 hours in the car. And whenever I eat out and we are celebrating, I choose one of 3 possible things. I'm either going to have an appetizer, I'm going to have a dessert, or I'm going to have an adult beverage. Now, after 4 hours in the car, I decided on the adult beverage. Okay, and I just had my entree, which was protein and vegetables and a side salad. And I felt like $1 million. It was great, right? So I stayed on track with the entree, but I chose to have one of 3 things. And that's what I do when I'm going out to, when it's a big celebration, like, especially if it's like my birthday or like somebody's anniversary or my anniversary or that kind of thing. It's just one of those things that has helped me stay on track. And this is kind of after Shrink a Size, by the way, because if you want to shrink in size in 5 weeks, you really got to stay the course, right? You got to stay committed. You got to stay consistent. All right. But I'm talking about after, when you're eating out and you've got celebrations coming up. I'm either having an appetizer, a dessert, or an adult beverage, not all 3, not 2, just one. Right. And it's really important when you're eating out that you are totally comfortable, you guys. Telling the waiter or waitress that you need to change something, or can you swap something, or does it have this, or can I have the dressing on the side, or can I have, instead of a cream sauce, can I have a tomato sauce? Is it okay if I have the vegetables steamed instead of sauteed in a ton of butter, right? I mean, all of these little things you can determine. Almost all restaurants now are very, very, very what's the word I'm looking for, you guys? Accommodating. They're very accommodating now, because so many people have so many dietary, restrictions or preferences, that in order to really stay in business and get great reviews, they have to be accommodating. So you're there, they're serving you, you're the customer. Don't feel bad about asking for what you want or what you need, so that you stay on track, you feel good, and you don't overeat. All right, when you get hit with cravings, and you have unhealthy eating habits, what do we do? Well, that is where truly the TLS shaking and baking recipe booklet comes into play. When we have unhealthy eating habits like snacking on ice cream or those types of things late at night, sometimes it's difficult to get rid of the habit. So instead, what we do is we replace the unhealthy ice cream with TLS ice cream. And so making it, I love the chocolate and ice cream. I perfected that recipe, you guys. It is in the TLS shaking and baking recipe booklet. And you can make it before you start making dinner, and it's ready shortly after you finish eating dinner. So when you have this habit of having a treat, sometimes it's easier to replace what you eat instead of just going cold turkey on the habit. If that makes sense, you guys. And so I like chips and cookies, or I like chips and crackers more than I like sweets. So you're going to see a tip this week on healthy crackers, healthy cracker alternatives. Are you guys excited about that one? Where are my salty people? I'm like, give me the salt. All right. Easily bored or distracted. So meaning that you're on a program, or you get bored with what you're eating, you get bored with exercise, you get just easily distracted in your program. So what's really important here is that you try a new recipe each week. You should have Monday or Tuesday is the new recipe day. And, since Wednesday and Sunday are your prep days, then you're ready to go for the new recipe on Monday or Tuesday, trying something you've never tried before. Try a new vegetable, try a new fruit. Keep it exciting. This is how you keep things exciting, right? New. Try something new. I think that works in lots of places in life. How about negative self-talk or sabotage? This is a big, big obstacle often as we are, really finding our healthiest weight and building this healthy lifestyle. One of the things that I posted last week was about self-love. And when we love someone, we support them, we encourage them, we compliment them, we take care of them, we help them. If we have something we love, a car, a house, we clean it, we take care of it, we maybe make improvements to it. Now, we don't talk down to the person we love. We don't insult them. We don't berate them, but we often do that to ourselves, which is, I don't know, it's just a really horrible thing that humans do. I don't think animals in the world do that to themselves. I don't think the lion's like, oh, you're such a loser, you didn't get the zebra. Right? Like that does not happen, does it? At least not that we know of. And so why is it that as humans, we have this tendency to have negative self-talk? It's something that we have to create a new habit with affirmations, positive affirmations, and to prevent sabotage, that accountability, which is why so many of you decided to join us for the Shrink to Size, as well as have a TLS coach, which, many of you are meeting as a group or chatting with your coach during the week for the additional accountability, even outside the group, even outside the Monday webinars. So you guys are cooking with oil there. And so positive affirmations to reprogram our brain so that we are speaking positively, like, I'm strong, I'm capable, I can do this, I'm committed, I deserve to be healthy, I deserve to reach my goals, I am a fat burning machine, I love to exercise, I get up every morning to do it, right? I mean, whatever we want to instill in our being is an affirmation that we can create. We can put Post-it notes all over the place. We can have an affirmations list we post on the bathroom mirror so that we can say them when we're getting ready. You can even record them and listen to them, because it really is about switching the way that we speak to ourselves about ourselves. We are not going to get anywhere in life putting ourselves down. It's absolutely not necessary to do that. And if you did that to a friend, they'd probably punch you in the face. Right? So don't do it anymore. Let's work on those positive affirmations so that we're moving forward with that self-love and that self-care. One of the best ways to overcome challenges and obstacles is know thyself. Know thyself. And there are different, what we call eaters in TLS. And there's the stress eater, there's the emotional eater, there's the grazer, there's the unconscious eater, there's the feast or famine eater, there's the waste not eater. Meaning you have to finish everything on your plate. There's the stealth eater. This is the person who cleverly hides cookies, candies, or other treats in pockets, drawers, in the desk, in the car, so no one will see when they're eating. And we all want to become the ideal eater. Stress eater is very self-explanatory. So is an emotional eater. So is a grazer. And so is an unconscious eater. And you probably know if you're one or a couple of these just by seeing them on the screen here. And so when you know that about yourself, I always say it, if it's predictable, it's preventable. And so if you know you're an emotional eater and emotions are high, guess what? Then we can become aware of the situation. Like when I open the fridge and I'm like, oh, like, I'm just bored. I'm bored. Why am I even opening the fridge? Close the door, Melanie, right? Like open the pantry, open the fridge, like something new is going to suddenly appear there, right? And how many of you have ever done that multiple times in one night? Like something else is going to just magically appear because I don't stock my house with crappy foods. And bored is what I would consider an emotion, right? And I don't mean bored, but who's bored? Everybody's super busy, right? And I love to say now productive. I'm productive, not busy. So, but there's always this time at night where me and my husband are chilling and we're relaxing, just kind of getting ready to end the day and go to bed. And that's when I'll do something like that. And so I'm very aware. And although the habit still exists, I don't necessarily act on it. I might still open the kitchen fridge or the pantry, but I don't do anything about it. I just laugh at myself at this point, in a good way. So I know that a lot of us were raised to not waste things and not or finish everything on our plate. I was at the airport flying home and I had gotten up very, very, very early. And by the time I'd gotten through customs and the whole 9 yards, I knew that I'd want to have breakfast at the airport. And so I did order breakfast, and I did not eat all of it because it was way bigger than the portion I should have. And I was kind of proud of myself, you guys, because I love breakfast foods. Like if I were to choose any meal that I'd have to have for the rest of my life and I couldn't have any other meal ever, it would be breakfast. I can have breakfast all the time. Okay. I love breakfast foods. And so I was very proud of myself because I definitely grew up with that waste not mentality at home. So these are things that I'm very aware of. And so it becomes really important that when you become aware of those unhealthy habits or those habits around eating, that you can become aware as they kind of hit you and you can make another choice, right? That is the key, making the other choice. The hardest person this is to do is the unconscious eater. Okay. So that is the person that's going to have the hardest time with that particular strategy. But you can do it. You can do it. I promise you, you can. Habits and attitudes that don't serve us. Having unrealistic expectations, meaning, you know, that you should be losing 3 pounds or more a week. That's just really unrealistic expectations. That, you know, that weight loss is always, you've always got to be losing pounds on the scale. Unrealistic expectations, because you might lose a lot of inches but no pounds, and that means you're losing fat and you're, you know, changing your body composition. How about procrastination or an all or nothing mentality, meaning I'm all in with the healthy lifestyle or I'm all out and I've thrown the towel in and it's just the guardrails are off and it's just mayhem. I'm not exercising and I'm eating anything I want, right? And all the bad things, right? So that kind of mentality does not serve us. That creates more challenges. That creates more obstacles. That creates more regret. That creates more shame. So we really want to step away from that mentality and embrace that this is a day-to-day, that this is a meal-to-meal, that this is about small steps in the right direction, and that you don't have to throw in the towel just because you had an off meal, or you quote unquote had a treat when you weren't supposed to have a treat, kind of thing, right? You're feeling bad about it. And then you use that as the reason to throw the towel in. And so we need to step away from that, because life, there is no such thing as perfection. It's just progress. Progress is perfection. Doesn't mean you're going to be perfect as you're making progress. You're just making progress, and all of you are making progress. So you can feel awesome about that. Holding on to unsupportive stories like, I don't have time, I don't like to sweat, I can't afford to eat healthy, I feel claustrophobic in an exercise class. The rest of my family would never eat that. I travel a lot for work. I'll start on Monday. I'll start after. So as we move into the holidays and after this challenge, it's really important that we're paying attention to these attitudes that might take us off track. Because here's the truth, you guys. We have the holidays coming up, and there are 90 plus days between Halloween and New Year's. There's like 96 days. And I think if you count the actual holiday, like let's say you're like, you know what, I'm gonna have candy on Halloween evening. And I always have a big Thanksgiving dinner, and I always have treats on Christmas Eve and a big Christmas Day dinner. I always do. And then I always have the next day, I have one leftovers meal. So, I put it all in the oven, or I put it all in a pan, and the potatoes and the stuffing and the turkey and the chicken or whatever I made, it's all going in. I'm having a leftover meal. That is what I do, because it's the holidays and I'm not going to deprive myself of that wonderful experience that we all love to have. But that's where it ends. So in total, if you count the holidays and a day for a meal for leftovers, you're really looking at like a dozen days, not even, in a 96-day period. Now, what most people do is as soon as Halloween hits, they're throwing in the towel for those 96 days. It's drinking, it's overeating, it's eating all the treats the coworkers bring to the office. It's, it's just a free for all, holy smokers. And what I have found is that creates a whole lot of regret and shame that I feel in January. That getting started in January is that much harder because of all those bad habits I just created in 96 days, that slippery slope. Now I'm addicted. I'm addicted to sugar. I'm addicted to cheese. I'm addicted to eating a lot. I'm addicted to eating at night. I mean, it's just a horrible experience. And again, insanity, the definition of it is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result. And so at some point I just went, this is crazy. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not throwing in the towel for the holiday season, y'all. I'm not doing it. I'm going to set my guardrails. I'm going to set my boundaries. I'm going to make my plan. And that is in a 96-day period, which is the holiday season. I am going to choose to have my 9 days where I get to indulge in the meal, in the drink, in the whatever, and not worry a thing about it. It's like calories are free that day. It just doesn't matter, you guys. And so 9 out of the 96 or whatever it is, I'll post about it, you guys. I'll post about this and the days so that you guys can have the visual as well as this audio. These are the challenges that we overcome to maintain a healthy lifestyle and maintain a healthy weight so that we're not creating that yo-yo challenge that, I had for years. I know that many of you have had for years of just losing and gaining and losing and gaining and just really having that struggle. And a big part of that is the mindset that goes around a lifestyle. All right. So one of the keys to this is staying on track. So I want you to use your tools even after this challenge is done. This was only 5 short weeks and we are wrapping it up here. So we've got this tracking sheet and whether it's the Jumpstart one or the basic one, doesn't matter what program you're on the basic one, you could be on any one of our programs. Use these, print them off if you're a paper and pen person, but we have both of them in, we have the daily tracking sheet in digital format. So that's fantastic. You guys, this way, on those days that aren't holidays, that you are staying on track. All right. As I mentioned, many of you are going to be transitioning into maybe rapid results or sure and steady. Or one of our more lenient programs, in which case be sure to take the TLS weight loss lifestyle profile so that you can get your new menu plan. And that menu plan is going to have what you get to eat, all your power foods, the rules, all of the things you need to know, your serving sizes and all that fun stuff is all on our menu plans. So you get to download that from the TLS website for free once you know which program you're going to be on. And of course, go and download the recipe booklet that corresponds with that recipe booklet. All right. They're all brand new and they're all beautiful and they are so good. And I love that some of you have been posting a little picture of the recipe that you did. And then, that you loved it. And so keep doing that, you guys. That is so helpful for all of us to know which recipes people liked and things like that. So definitely keep up the great work there. So we, as I mentioned, this is the start of your TLS lifestyle. It's still best to chunk it out into small goals. All right. Still, even, thinking of that 96 days of the holiday season is maybe a little overwhelming for some of you. So chunk it out. I know some of our TLS coaches are running another perpetual, 5-week shrink a size coming up. So if you, want to put yourself on this program again after a week, fantastic. if you, I know I'm going to be doing a 5K in January, and I'm not really big on running. So that's my next goal. That's my next challenge, is getting ready for a 5K. Okay. I know that's not very long, but for somebody who doesn't like running, it is. All right. We do have a holiday season TLS survival guide free on our TLS Slim site. So definitely download that for great tips on how to survive the holiday season, not just survive it, but thrive within it. So we're taking care of that. I just wanted to share with you again that Karen has done so well with TLS here. She's lost 41 pounds with our program, and Emily lost 48. She really feels like she regained her youth, which is so exciting. And with that said, I just want to open it up for any, Jackie loves breakfast too. Any questions you have about challenges or obstacles that you've been facing in this challenge, I'm happy to address them here. Suzanne, it likes the salt too. Okay, good. So Healthy Cracker Post is coming this week. Also coming this week is another obstacle that we often face. I have a video I will be sharing and posting this week, so be sure to be watching on the page. And it's the obstacle that we often face when we think to ourselves, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like exercising. I don't feel like eating healthy. I don't feel like eating a salad. I don't feel like meal prepping. What do we do when we say I don't feel like it? So that, in sticking with our theme of overcoming obstacles this week, you will see that this week on the Shrink a Size page, you guys. So yes. Yvette is asking, will the Shrink a Size Facebook page continue? Yes, I don't close them. I don't close the challenge pages. They do stay up. I don't necessarily stay active in posting in them, but they do stay up. I don't close them down. So they're there for you guys to cheer each other on and continue on, or go back to the content that was posted. If you need to see it again or you missed it, it's all there and available for you guys on that group page. So that will stay for you guys for sure. Okay. So you are so welcome, Karen and Yvette and Jackie. Thank you all for being on tonight. And thank you all for being so patient with me, being so understanding, and for all the caring and loving messages that I received from you guys regarding, going through Hurricane Ian and the intense aftermath that a natural disaster created in our area. National Guard set up a post just 4 miles from our house, if that gives you an idea as to the kind of severity of what was going on here. So I do so appreciate how absolutely gracious you guys were with me. I cannot tell you how much that meant to me. It really, truly touched my heart. So I really, really, really appreciate it. So again, you guys, so proud of everyone for sticking with it. Even if you didn't do it perfectly and you're here and you're completing the Shrink a Size challenge, it's not about perfection. Remember, it's about progress. You guys are amazing. You should feel so dang proud of yourselves. I can't wait to see the results that are pouring in here in the next week or two as people are wrapping up. And with that said, you guys, have an absolutely great night. We have great content coming up in the page this week. So we will see you on the Shrink a Size page. Thanks for watching, you guys. Sharing is caring. This will be on the YouTube channel by tomorrow. Thanks, everyone.